Hey guys, Lucas Matzke from Clam here. So either you're an experienced ice angler who's decided they want to purchase a new ice shelter this year, or maybe you're a first timer considering your first ice shelter purchase. I'm going to walk you through a few of the key factors that might go into selecting which ice shelter you want. At Clam, we make two different style shelters. We make a fish trap shelter and we make a hub shelter. So the first decision you're going to need to make is which style shelter is going to be for you. A couple of the things to consider when looking at a fish trap shelter. Do you want the tub built in? Do you want the seats built in? Are you going to pull it with a snowmobile or an ATV or a UTV or something like that? And do you have a large truck to carry a shelter with a built-in sled? The factors to consider that might lead you to purchase a hub shelter would be number of anglers. Most of the fish trap shelters are going to be limited to 1 or 2 anglers. If you're going to have a larger group, a family, group of buddies, friends, whatever, you might want to consider the hub shelter. The hub shelter is also going to be a little more versatile for transport. So you could strap it down to the back of that ATV or snowmobile if you wanted to, or if you have a smaller truck, smaller SUV, maybe even a car, you're going to be able to get that hub shelter packed into that vehicle and to the lake with you. So again, the things to consider: how are you going to be getting it to the lake? Once you're at the lake, how are you going to transport it on the lake? How many people you're fishing with? Maybe what species you're going to be fishing. And those are just a couple high-level things to think about when you're deciding if you want a fish trap or a hub style shelter. All right, if you think you're leaning more towards a fish trap shelter, you at least got the first part of the decision-making process figured out. So there's going to be a number of different options within the Clam Fish Trap line that might lead you to one model or another. I think the next biggest thing to consider is going to be how many people are you fishing with. If you're fishing by yourself, if you're fishing, or if you're fishing with another angler. Again, they're going to be a little adaptable, but you want to think about what you're going to do most. We'd make 1-mans, 2-mans, and 3-mans in the fish trap line. The 1-man side of things, you're going to have a couple different options. You can get a Kenai, which is going to be super fast, flip and go poles, chasing bluegills, running and gunning hard, moving a lot. The Kenai shelter is going to be awesome for that. You also could look at a Legend shelter that's going to have some extending poles, and that's going to have a little more floor space. So one of the things to consider there, if you're going with a 1-man, how much floor space, how many times are you going to move throughout the day? If you're thinking you're going to want a 2-man shelter, we make a number of different 2-man models, from our most portable model, the Nanook, all the way up to a giant X400 fish trap shelter. So diving a bit deeper into the options that we have on the fish traps, Clam's going to offer our regular Clam models, our Ice Team models, and then our X Series models of fish traps. So that Clam model is going to have no accessories included. It's still going to have a very high quality durable skin, lots of insulation to keep you warm, and a good tub and seat system. When you get an Ice Team model, you're going to get all the same features, the high quality skin and the nice comfortable seats and all that you got with the regular Clam models, but you're also going to get accessories included. So you're going to get a light bar, a battery bracket, and a travel cover with those Ice Team models. So if you know you're going to want to add those accessories on, it's a good idea to think about purchasing those up front. You get a little bit of value there. And then the X Series shelters are designed for our most hardcore anglers. That's going to be the guy who's pulling it long distances behind a snowmobile. Maybe you got a portage or a railroad crossing or something like that. You need to pull it over. The X Series shelter is going to be your most durable, rugged, heavy duty, hardcore, and is going to have the thickest skin and most insulation. All right, so then the hub shelter line, we also make 3 different models within our hub shelter. The first thing to consider is either the C Series or the X Series shelters. Brand new this year is our updated X Series line of shelters with this big giant max entry door. So if you're going to have a lot of gear to haul in and out, maybe a bunch of kids running in and out and stuff, that X Series shelter with that big door is going to be a great way to go. On the C Series side of things, maybe you're looking for a little bit smaller shelter. Our C360 is the smallest hub shelter we offer. Lightweight, you know, a little bit lighter insulation, a little bit lighter fabric, or even a non-thermal shelter is going to be in the C series. So if you're carrying it out, you know, on your back or something like that, you know, the C series shelter might be a good way to go. They also can be our most affordable shelters. That really helps that starter angler, you know, load up on lots and lots of gear. Back to the X Series shelters, you're also going to have a Clam model or an Ice Team model within that, the X Series. So with the X Series, you're going to get a little heavier denier fabric, you're going to get a little heavier insulation, and like I mentioned, that max entry door. The difference between the Ice Team model and the X Series model is going to be sewn in lighting. So if you know you're going to be staying out in the evening to do some crappie or walleye fishing, you're maybe going to be doing some ice camping and some of that, the X Series Ice Team edition with that sewn in lighting might be the way to go. All the X Series hubs also have the biggest in industry hub, the largest in industry poles, the most heavy duty skin. So it's going to be the most durable hub fishing shelter that you're going to find. So that's a super quick rundown on the differences between fish traps and hub shelters and some of the differences in the line between all the different models. For more information, you can go to your local retailer or check out clamoutdoors.com.